Hi everyone, day 94. I promised I'll show you the picture which we took. That's the picture. That's me, that's my brother, Lee Van Cleef. I said I would show it to you. Anyway, he's in a poor state at the moment. Can't be helpful. After a month staying in Savannah, after the Montreal and all, I went back to Savannah and stayed with my brother. And after a month I had stayed there, the Jalapeno restaurant, which we made it like our own home. Even the manager was very helpful to me. Every time I go, he keeps a big jar full of brandy in it. And he used to always challenge me with a shot. We've had a nice time there, and he decided to give me a send-off with all the Mexican banging and a big sombrero hat on my head. And it was fun. Then they gave me a send-off. It was a very big surprise for me. This long time back. And I returned to UK after all that. My brother felt very lonely after I left. And it was a long time since I've been to Seattle, but I want to have a trip there again, but maybe time will tell. Then, some time back, my grandchildren were very young when my brother's daughter decided to get married. She went to Bangalore and bought all her clothes and informed the father that she's getting married in Scotland somewhere. So we were all invited for her wedding. There was a lot of people, but it was conducted in a castle, and it was very romantic. It was very nice to see such a place in Scotland and all that. And what was I going to say? Oh yes, my brother, what he did was he brought our sister along with him. And that's the time after the wedding. We stayed in a bed and breakfast place in Scotland, somewhere in Scotland. I can't remember where it was, but if I tried, I would remember. The thing is, some certain things you don't want to remember, and so it doesn't come to your mind at once. It was a very long time back, and when my grandchildren were very young, they were all dressed with rings on their head, like a crown with flowers. And they were all thrilled to go into the castle and all that. It was a sad time for me because I remember my grandchildren at that time. I wish I could go back in time, but I can't. Then my sister, after the wedding, my sister decided to come home with me to to UK from England. I mean, from Scotland to England. I drove. I had a Mercedes car at that time. I drove her to Blackburn, where I was staying at that time. And a lot of people came to see her from London, from Scotland, from Newcastle, from Nottingham, and everywhere people had come to see her. And we had a great get-together in Goodshaw Avenue. Goodshaw Avenue was a great house where we welcomed a lot of people. And even more, the time had passed, but we still gather and remember the things what happened there. During my daughter's 18th birthday and the celebration, the amount of people that came to the house, and on her 21st birthday as well, a lot of people came to my house and stayed in my house. Some of them stayed in hotels, and some of the friends are no more, but still I remember all of them, how they came and all that. Now my sisters, I decided to take her to see London first, and took her in the bus, and she was listening to this earphone, all the London Bridge and the London Tower, everything. She was watching it, and after that I took her to Madame Tussauds most popular things of Madame Tussauds, and sightseeing in double-decker bus, open bus. If it rains, tough luck. That's the way it is in London. And from there we returned, I don't know after how many days we stayed in London. And we returned from London, and I took her to Stratford-upon-Avon, where she's done English literature for her BA, so I took her to see Shakespeare's plays. And we walked through the halls and saw all the olden time where Shakespeare was born, where he died, and everything. I wasn't that much interested in Shakespeare, but some people said when I write a story, I write like Shakespeare. But it's a long time ago. Anyway, from there we returned home, and we went to the lakes. Now, lakes is a place where the poet, what's his name, was there, and we went and saw his house, his cottage in Lake Windermere, and many other lakes. Took her all around the place. Then we returned. I don't know why I took the jacket back from her. I can't understand that part. And I was going to leave it with her, because I didn't want her to suffer in the cold. But she just took out the coat and gave it to me. And I didn't want that to happen, but it happened. I don't know why that happened. And I'm feeling very sad about that as well. But then, after everyone came there and rejoiced and seen everyone, and it was a lifetime of remembrance. My grandchildren were there as well. And it was fantastic to see how everyone joined together, drank together, ate together. We had a big table as well, and dining table. Our lounge was, what, 32 feet long and about 15, 16 feet wide. It was a big lounge. And we slept in the lounge, some of us behind the settee, and some were snoring and some were shouting in their dreams. We all had a nice time. And everyone stayed in Goodshaw Avenue, number 2 Goodshaw, our last house. Now there are some other Asians staying there. And our friend next door had come to wish them all. He had seen the children and everyone. Bye for now. Talk again tomorrow. And vaccination was good. The surgery was immaculate. They had the sense of decorum, and the pain vanished after my exercise this morning. Lifting the 5 kg weight dumbbells, the pain vanished. Bye for now. Don't forget to wear a mask when you're walking out, and don't forget to subscribe for me. Bye-bye. Take care. God bless.